check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products, from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, man, we back. Goodfellow Sports TV. We're in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And let's talk about Shawn Porter, Kenny Porter. They've been saying they've been ready to be in shape. They've been in camp for 8 weeks now. That's what he said. He said they've been training for this fight. They knew this fight was waiting. They was waiting for Errol Spence to sign off on the contract. Derek James hit back, so y'all know we've been signing the contract. And I guess it was up to Errol Spence to really, he was the super A side here. Shawn was like the XYZ side. And Errol Spence got to pick everything. You know, Errol Spence got to pick the venue. Was it going to be on regular Fox, pay-per-view? He got to pick the entire shebang, you know. And they was pretty much waiting on Errol to get a go-ahead. And once they got the venue, Errol wanted to move it from Brooklyn to LA. Once they got all that figured out, and pay-per-view, now the fight is going. And a lot of people say Errol was looking out of shape. I did videos. He always blew up between camp. But I remember Roger Mayweather said this. He said, you don't need no 12, 10, 12, 14. He said 12, 14, 16-week camp. You just need a good 8-week camp, and you should be staying in shape in between fights. And I agree with that. You know, Errol Spence should have it down to a science, but he's approaching his 30s, and now his bone density, his bone's gonna get more dense. He's gonna get that grown man frame, and you know, he'd think he'd be able to drop the weight the same way. It don't always work like that way. You know, for the human body, especially as you get older, it gets harder to drop weight. You know what? And at this point, and he's a big welterweight. I don't think he's one of the biggest welterweights in welterweight history. I think, you know, like Tommy Hearns or Paul Williams, even Trinidad was a big welterweight, just to name a few. I don't think he's that big of a welterweight to be in that iconic list as far as just pure size. Remember, you had the 6'2", 6'1" welterweight Mike Jones until he got knocked out by Randall Bailey. But at some point, it's gonna get harder and harder to burn that weight off. A lot of it, people say, is water weight, but losing too much water can be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because your brain system water. You don't want to lose a ton of water, start dehydrating the body, then that speeds up the aging process for any human being, let alone a human being that's taking shots to the head. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And he better be careful. He need to have stayed in shape. Blowing up between fights and only fighting once or twice a year is eventually gonna catch up to him. And you know, if it catch up to him versus a subpar opponent, good. I mean, that's the best case scenario, because he could thug out a win, or he can inch out a win, and then he'll learn to stay in shape in between camps. I know a lot of niggas that's pro Errol Spence, and I'm not saying nobody name in this one, but if the shoe fit, then wear it, right? I know a lot of niggas that's saying, oh, Gervonta blew up in between fights, and he a fat hoe, he a pregnant hoe, and what about Errol Spence? That motherfucking face is chubby as fuck. His body, he get way out of shape. And now they just probably entering like real camp. You know, he been bullshitting. He entering real camp. That's why he didn't want to fight August 3rd or September 1st, because physically he wasn't ready. Kenny Porter ain't lying here. But the detriment here is they said they approaching peak condition. Do you really want to peak out in July, August, or do you want to peak September 28th? They can overtrain. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they know that. I'm pretty sure Shawn probably need a 2 weeks off of camp, or at least off conditioning. I would take 2 weeks off at this point. If they in 8 weeks, I'd take 2 weeks off of strength and conditioning, and we just work on mental prep and technical prep, so he won't drain himself. I remember Shane Mosley. You know, he got old overnight versus Floyd Mayweather because he overtrained. You know what I'm saying? He left it in the gym. That's what they say. Proof's in the pudding, though. That could have been, that. I think that was a great point, because he came off his best win versus Margarito. So Shawn could be overtraining, and Errol Spence can just know his body and be on track, and Errol Spence could be in physical peak condition September 28. Right now, I guesstimate they're about what, 7-8 weeks out. So he really on par. They know how to take the weight down. They know, it's a case that maybe Shawn Porter is overtraining, right? Maybe Shawn is overtraining. And if they don't take some time off or make sure they manage his strength and conditioning the correct way, Shawn Porter can be a dead man on fight night. And then I know they said too much of a good thing can be bad. All right? And that's true. You can eat too much fruits and vegetables and get too much sugar and carbohydrates and get sick. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you eat shit in portion. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're eating a whole bunch of spinach or vegetables or shit like that doesn't mean you're entirely healthy. You got 300-pound vegans out here. Oh yeah, I'm a vegan, but you still punishing your body. You still punishing your body because you're not eating in the proper proportion and you're not doing the physical exercising or the physical, things you need to do to stay in shape. But Kenny Porter is pointing out observation, and he trying to play mental games. But Errol Spence know exactly what he's doing. Errol Spence may be in better shape than Shawn come fight night if they don't manage his strength and conditioning the right way. If they don't manage that strength and conditioning the right way, that can be a huge problem for Shawn. He can leave it a lot in the gym, and they've been training, and and most of that training, in my opinion, should have been mental preparation. They need to take 2 weeks off and just run in and all of that, and just maybe do bad work on the technical things they need to work on, because that kind of got me skeptical. I understand nobody's giving Shawn Porter a chance in this fight. It's a few people out there, even people that despise Errol Spence or not the biggest Errol Spence fans. They know Errol Spence is probably gonna win this fight. But it's been upset heaven this year. It's been upset city. It's been upset and just everywhere. And not only in the ring with upsets of PED usage and shit like that, but it's been upsets everywhere. And you know what? This is Errol Spence's toughest test to date. It is. It's not a broke down fighter that had a broke down eye, that had to cut down from 60 to 147. It's not an older Lamont Peterson who actually wasn't a 147-pounder. It's not Chris Algieri coming off a tough fight with Provodnikov, a loss to Pacquiao, a loss to Amir Khan. It's not a lightweight in Mikey Garcia. This is a guy that competed at 165 in the amateurs, a guy that started off at 154 pounds, just like Errol is a professional fighter, a guy that came down to 47, a guy that got nothing to lose. He got two losses on his resume, I believe. Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, and a draw with Julio Diaz that he avenged that some people thought he lost. This is square business. This is a tough fight. He ain't got shit to lose. Everybody expects him to lose. All the pressure on Errol Spence. All the pressure is on Errol Spence. So right now, Kenny really ain't even got to play mind games, but he gonna pile on him. But I'm pretty sure they know what they doing. Errol, like, he lost weight since he looked real chubby in that picture with Charlo. I think it was Jamal. He looked real chubby, like he lost some weight. But this is just these new fighters. They don't stay in the gym. They don't stay in shape. And what Shawn Porter's doing is an anomaly these days. You really don't see Shawn Porter out of shape because really he can't afford to get out of shape because naturally his frame isn't 147 pounds. Even his last fight, he had to cut his little dreads or braids off. Naturally you can't afford that. And Errol Spence and Gervonta need to realize that, when you ain't 25, 23, and when you get in 30, 31, if he still wants to compete at welterweight or whatever the situation may be for Errol Spence, if you want to compete at those weights and you got to stay in shape because you draining yourself to make 147 pounds. If you Errol Spence, you feel me? Eventually what's gonna happen to Canelo gonna happen. You see, they tried to make him a welterweight early in his career when he was in his early 20s, right? Then he had to go to 54. He suppressed his body of a lot of nutrients and water. Now all of a sudden he want to fight at 64.5. He want to fight at 68. He want to fight at 60. He want to fight at 172. He want to fight at 175 probably. You know why he doing all that jumping around? Because he can't make the fucking weight. Because he denied his body proper nutrition. He's going to age like a fucking banana pretty soon. So that's the benefits of fighting close to your natural rate. You last longer in the sport. Your body don't break down. You don't worry about Alzheimer's, dementia. It ain't just taking blows to the head that causes that. Draining your body, turning into a tomato does that too, along with some punishment. If you reason Floyd and Bernard got their faculties, they stayed in shape, they fought closer to their natural weight, or they stayed close to their weight so they didn't have to drain their body to make weight. They were disciplined inside and outside the ring. And a guy like Errol Spence, it may not pay off, it may hurt him in the end. Maybe not right now versus Shawn Porter, but it may hurt him in the end. But hey, it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1Box. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Check them out. And don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Appreciate the love, support. Keep sharing the videos. We gone.